Hi, my name is Scott Winters. I'm the inventor of the Muséik software, and I'm also the CEO of Ion Concert Media. And today I want to give you a first look at Muséik 3.2, the new build that's about to come out that is jam-packed with all kinds of new features. We're very excited about this build. It's available now as a first beta for early testing, and we expect a public release sometime in late spring, early summer 2026. Today I want to walk through some of these new features, show you what they're going to do, how they function. But first, let's talk about what has not changed in 3.2. So I've got the software open up here. It's outputting a video to this monitor. The first thing you'll notice is that the interface is no longer a square. It's now a rectangle. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio. But inside of that interface, the core sync that everyone knows and appreciates about the Muséik software has not changed. We've still got the score in the top window that scrolls from right to left. We've still got the output window that shows the operator the feed being sent to the audience. And we've still got the tempo slider, which is the core function of the entire system. You will notice that the tempo slider has gone from a horizontal orientation to now it's vertical. This was done after some testing that showed, especially first-time operators that might have some nerves on stage, moving the mouse left and right was a little bit hard to control when there was anxiety. The up and down movement is more of a forearm motion and much more stable when there's a little bit of stage nerves involved in the performance. But behind the scenes, it's exactly the same. It behaves and feels exactly like it always has. Also, we still have all of the audio functions, 8 audio bays. They can be paired into 4 stereo channels, or you can use them as 8 mono outputs, and they can be mapped any place in your mix that you need them to go. Okay, let's talk about some of the new stuff in 3.2. And we'll start over here on this right column. These 4 bays are now basic VJ functionality in the software. They're each a looping bay. You can load any file type in there, MOV, MP4, PNG, PDF, whatever you would like, whatever you need to display. You can't play, you can't pause, you can't change the playback speed, but each of the bays has opacity controls, and they're all layered so that you can mix your own video feed outside of the main output at any time. So for example, what I've got going on here is I've got the ICM Technologies logo loaded into the top bay. You see it here on the display. And then under it, I have this motion graphic playing, which is the motion that you see on the screen. If I want to just have the Muséik logo or the ICM logo, I can fade it all the way up, and now we've just got the logo. Or alternatively, if I wanted to change the background, I can just fade this one out, and now we've got gears happening in the background. We think that this VJ, very basic VJ functionality, is going to have a number of uses for our customers. First of all, title screens, logos, donor cards. Now, instead of having a second media player on stage running all of your secondary visuals, everything can be run out of Muséik, and you can mix it live and get it exactly the way you want it. A very handy, efficient way to handle all of those extra visuals that you might want to present during your show. A second use would be a performance where there might be improvisation. Somebody might take a repeat that was not anticipated. The band takes a vamp and does band introductions that was not expected. Let me show you this. I'm going to fade these out. Now we're down. these loops are layered on top of the main feed. Whatever you fade up over here is going to cover the main feed. They're on top of it. So now I've faded those out. Now we're left with the main feed that the audience is going to see from the stage sync show file. And you can imagine, I'm not hitting play here, it's just pause, but imagine the video is actually playing. Now the band starts a vamp to introduce the band. You really can't press pause or stop because that'll make the audience wonder what's going on. So you're kind of stuck. The video is playing and you can slow way down, but that's not going to fix the problem. Now what you can do is you're playing the video, unexpectedly the band starts to vamp to do band introductions. You just fade up this video. Now the audience is just watching this loop. You can now come over here and reset the score to wherever you need to be when the band comes out of the loop. You can actually change files, go to a different file. You can do all kinds of work behind the scenes while there's still content being shown to the audience, which makes a much more creative and flexible platform for our users. I will say one thing about this beta version, it's not completely dialed in yet. You'll notice on this loop that it catches at the end of a cycle. The dev team is working on that right now. It needs to just cycle flawlessly. You can't really tell when it gets to the end of the loop and restarts again. That will get fixed in a future build. Okay, next is the most exciting new feature in Muséik 3.2. We now have the ability to control DMX lights through OSC. So in our stage sync file, you'll notice at the top there's two sets of numbers. The one on the top is millisecond data. The one on the bottom is SMPTE timecode. SMPTE timecode is in there because it is such a universal tool for everyone around the world in their workflow. The software is actually using the millisecond data. So before your show, you're going to come in and build your light program, construct all your cues. You're going to take that over to a spreadsheet and then import that spreadsheet into Muséik using this OSC button. And once your light cues are loaded into Muséik, when you hit play, whenever you hit a millisecond that is included in your cue list, the software will fire a USC command over to the light board. I've got a ETC color source 20 here. It'll send a fire command over to the board at millisecond 18678, send Q or fire Q35 or whatever it is. And then I've got a light bar hooked up over there in the corner. And so I can show you how this works. Fade this one out, go to, and press stop so we go to a black screen. This file has a countdown. A green bar is going to cycle down while the countdown is playing before the music begins. And also I should tell you that this light program is written to fire the lights at every downbeat. So beat one of every measure, the light will change color. And if I press play, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Perfectly lined up with the downbeat of each measure. If I jam the tempo all the way up, still right on time. And if I bring the tempo all the way down to the bottom, still right on time. There'll be more videos coming about how exactly to create those cue lists, get them loaded into Muséik, and how the whole connection between the light boards and Muséik happens. That's all we're going to touch on about how it works for right now. I will say it'll take any OSC commands. It doesn't have to be a light board. It can be any machinery in your hall that reads, that listens to OSC. It can all now be fired at precisely the right moment in your event timeline. But there's just a little bit more than that as well, because not all cues can be anticipated in your timeline. A hazer, for example, you might need to give it a little bit of a boost because the haze is dissipated. You don't know when that is going to happen. So down here in this right corner, we've got 6 OSC buttons that are user-defined, and you can set these up to do anything you want them to do outside of the main sync timeline. I've got cue number 1 or button number 1 set up to be a light blackout. So when I hit number 1, the light turns off. We think this is going to be a game changer. So what's really happening here is, in a show where you would usually need 3 techs, somebody mixing audio, a VJ to run the video, and a LD for the lights, you now have just one individual. No more busking the lights, no more calling the show and having somebody else fire the light cues. You now just have one person sitting behind Muséik, and they're delivering fully synchronized audio and fully synchronized video, and now also fully synchronized lights. We think it's going to be a game changer for many, many of our customers. Okay, last feature that we want to talk about. There's a button down here called MIDI Settings. Brings up this window. Back here I have a Samson Carbon 49 MIDI controller. And I can now set up this MIDI controller to run Muséik. From the drop-down menu, I'm going to pick the Samson Carbon 49. Then I'm going to choose play as the command I want to set up. Now I'm going to click change output, and we'll pick the C key to be the play function. Now I can come over here to pause, change input, use the D key to pause. And now I've set up this MIDI controller to control play and pause in the software. All right, that covers all of the features that we wanted to go through in this short video. Again, Muséik 3.2 is available now as a beta for early testing. It should be a public release late spring, early summer 2026. Jam-packed with features. There'll be more videos coming out to dive in a little bit more in depth on each of these features. Until then, thanks for watching this video, and thank you so much for being a Muséik user.